Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de la Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Mask. I'm your host, as always, Ray de Mascaras. And before we get started today, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that on the weeks where I'm not sure what I want to show off, I leave it up to the viewers. And I put the poll up, and Tuesday night, looking at the calendar, and I realized that Friday was March 17th. And along with being St. Patrick's Day, it's also the anniversary of one of my all-time favorite mask versus mask matches. So the poll ended, and the winner was an AEW mask. And felt really bad because that was my mistake. So if you voted in that poll and you voted for an AEW mask, I sincerely apologize. Total oversight on my part, and we're going to cover it next week for sure. So stay tuned if you're waiting on that. Thank you for your understanding. So with that said, today, March 17th, marks 23 years since two absolute legends went into battle, both of them wearing their signature masks, but only one came out wearing his. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of my favorite pieces in my collection for various reasons. So first of all, we'll talk about this one right here, the Viano 3 mask. Growing up, my first exposure to Lucha was WCW and Rey Mysterio Jr., like a lot of fans here in the United States. So as things carried on, it was something that caught my eye with Rey Mysterio Jr., and then obviously all of the other luchadors that came in. And obviously, if you followed WCW, you know that Vianos 4 and 5 wrestled fairly extensively in WCW. They didn't, they weren't champions or anything, but they were very fun to watch. Very fun to watch. Some of the stereotypical switcheroo spots and stuff like that. But, a lot of solid action. I think a lot of people want to say it was Viano 4 that suffered a pretty serious neck injury in the ring with Raven and Canyon. Also, you'll probably remember Viano 4 lost his mask last year against Pentagon Jr., marking the third of the Vianos to lose their mask in the ring. Viano 3 was the first one back in 2000. Viano 5 lost his to Ultimo Guerrero in 2009, I believe. And then Viano 4 lost his, which effectively closed the book on the chapter of the legends of the Vianos for that generation. Obviously, we do have Viano 3 Jr., Hio de Viano 3, and I believe Viano 5's sons also wrestle as well. But talking about this one here, I picked this up shortly before the Viano 4 mask match, but I wanted to have a mask to symbolize Vianos 1, 2, and 3, who have since left us. So this was a pickup I made on eBay, a pro grade, very cool zipper on the back. It makes it for very easy takeoff, as you just saw with me pulling it off to reveal the Atlantis mask. So one of the favorites, this one sits over here. I have a special shelf for luchadors who have departed. So this one stands tall on that one, along with a Viano 3 Jr. mask with Dia de los Muertes designs on it. So just a cool mask, one I hold near and dear. So in reference to the one I'm wearing today, that I will actually talk about instead of just using it to conceal my identity, this was the mask that I bought that turned the tide. About a year before I bought this one, I'd purchased a Pentagon Jr. mask just as a random buy at a Pro Wrestling Revolver show. And I was just kind of starting to get into masks a little bit, and I thought, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have one. And then as time went on, the year after, I purchased a Phoenix mask. Got to have the brothers together. And then I kind of decided to make the leap. I said, okay, Atlantis is one of my favorites. The match with Viano 3, one of my all-time favorite matches, probably my all-time favorite Apuestas match. So I'm like, I gotta have this one. So bought this one. I actually bought it from High Spots again. It's a fan grade mask, but it's an official fan grade mask. So the designs for a fan grade are actually pretty good, pretty substantial. It's pretty thick material. Usually stuff like this is just kind of glued on, but this is like a little bit thicker than that. And it fits comfortably on my head. So it's just perfect. You've seen me wear it during past episodes where it's just something, obviously you can see it's got a very wide space. So I'm not struggling to talk. I'm not struggling to hear myself when I'm doing these. So just a fun piece. And again, it's an official fan grade piece. It's so cool. It's so cool. It sits up on my legend shelf, and it just looks good. Obviously, in time, if I could get an Atlantis ring worn, an Atlantis sign mask, of course I would jump on it. But this one's still going to hold a place in my heart, just for the fact this one pushed me over the proverbial cliff, full on into mask collecting. After this, there was no turning back. So there you have it. Happy Viano 3 versus Atlantis mask versus mask match day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, obviously, as well. But this is one I'm going to watch this again for probably the 100th time, but it still gets to me at the end. Still gets to me when Viano 3 is having the mask taken off. It's one of those things that just hits you in the feels. It's about as best I can explain it. So, if you like today's episode, as always, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what's working. Let me know what's not working. I'm well open to constructive criticism. Just, let me know what I can improve here. So, we'll catch you next week. We'll do some AEW stuff. Yeah, if you look over my shoulder, you can see a few of them here. Let me know if there's something, something specific you guys want to see. So, until then, everybody have a great week. Live, laugh, love, and always, Lucha Libre. Catch you next time.